Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with you. And this is an update on some drug stocks we're following. Got to keep on top of these. There's a lot of trials going on, and this being the first quarter of 2020, we have some that are due within the next month. So I'm trying to keep everyone updated. Maybe review some key websites to look at to kind of get some guidance on where to find these stocks, and when you do find them, how to research them. It's simple enough. Just tune in to Day Trading Radio, or subscribe to Day Trading Radio, and get all that information that I'm passing on to you, because I'm in a lot of these stocks also. But just we're gonna go a fast little update right now, and the one stock we're gonna talk about starting off with is a stock that is. Let me see where I have it. I just opened it up before. It's called Biopharm Catalyst. Biopharm Catalyst, all right? .com, just the way it says here. And they have a nice calendar over here. They have a Catalyst calendar. Click on that. Open up to FDA calendar. There's other good stuff we'll go over here in a second. Just open that up. Get out a piece of paper and a pen. And then you scroll down and you start your research. Now, this typically goes in when earliest the event that's coming up quickest. Now, there's not a guarantee. This is all based off of public information, trial data. This is very loosey goosey when it comes to exactly when these events will take place. This catalyst, and these are usually the announcement of the current whatever stage they're in, and we're going to get that announcement. So here's phase 2/3, data due out first quarter 2020. So we're in this one. It's been moving around. There's not much else I could say about this because it's just the same thing, but it does give you an example of this is one of the closer ones that are coming up. Now, if you were just looking at this, and they have two drugs here, more of this migraine, preventive migraine drug right here. So now that you have this, and again, some of this I'll be repeating this stuff, but it's so important because you make your biggest money if you're in a stock that has a big catalyst, and you could double, triple sometimes. We've been doing that year after year. We got into some really good ones, and this year, or last year, ARRY and AUPH. And then hopefully AUPH again this year. BHVN, I'm feeling good about that. We have some other ones that I'm holding. EXEL, I've talked about that on tonight's Watchlist that went out. So there's a lot of good things, and we always got to continue to find the next big thing, because that's, you find something good and you start following it, and before you know it, the time is right, and we start to take a position, and you can put yourself in front of a big event. So right now, say for the first time you're looking at this stock and say, all right, John, how do I find more information on it? Well, this tells you what's coming up real fast. There's other sources. You can go to Zero Hedge. They have a good section on drug stocks, and not Zero Hedge, excuse me, Seeking Alpha. I was just thinking about Zero Hedge being banned from Twitter, but definitely not Zero Hedge when it comes to health stocks. Definitely not. Seeking Alpha. I apologize, confusing the two. Or just in the general, knowledge and news coming out, because companies are always announcing new studies and new indications and new things. So you have to just be, have a notebook, put a notebook in there, use a Google Calendar. To when you do have this is what I like to do. Say they come out and they say, well, we're starting a new trial on this medicine, and you grab the medicine. I want to grab it right here. All right, copy. And then I'm going to go to another site. Let me see where I could use this here. Let me go to, so then we're going to go to clinical trials.com. Oh, why did that come in? I know I spelled it wrong, but I just want to get there. Then you go to that clinicaltrials.gov, just the way it sounds, and you can actually go here. I just go in the middle thing. It's a process. It's a learning process. All right, so I'll put it in here. and then I'll hit the search button. There might be a faster way of doing this, condition or disease, or go right to the company, but I always just do it the old-fashioned way. I put that in there, and then I search it out. Migraine here, drug, and this is active, not recruiting, so this is the one I think we're looking at. There's 9 studies with that drug. Most of them were completed, so let's click on that. And then what you want to do is just kind of scroll down, and it gives you a lot of information here. But the important information, what I like to do is just kind of let's see if this is the one. This looks like it's the total completion date would be 2021, January 2021. That's a year from now. But the primary completion date was 2019. Let me make sure this is the one. I do believe this is it, though. Phase 3, Phase 2, Phase 3. And I think we are waiting for an update on this. I was just doing the research, and I went back to a video that Kramer interviewed the CEO for Biohaven. And it says right here, he's talking about it.
Well, we think we're onto something here with really targeting the underlying pathophysiology of this illness, and we hope we can bring a better treatment to patients in the first quarter of 2020, where we expect our NDA approval.
First quarter of 2020. And then, of course, on that clinical, bioclinical website here, let me bring that back up here a second, sorry. I'm looking at the presentation now, which I never did watch the presentation here. They're talking about the pain relief of the plant, migraine stuff, and it, you can see that, it's definitely
reflecting the fact that
it's definitely an improvement over the placebo.
Accumulate past the 2-hour primary
the p-value is very low.
If we look at the 2 to 48 hour
kind of
data,
interesting to see
the
that.
profile is very
It
similar.
almost doubles the placebo.
Once the drug works to a striking degree, the benefits are sustained.
So I'm just jumping through this here. I'm going to finish it up here. But again, there's a lot of...
the shorter Tmax of the ODT formulation and the sustained
There's a lot
benefits
of
are driven by the
information out there.
relatively long half-life. So now we're
So this does look good. I mean, wow, look at that chart. So we have 2 drugs coming up on this. I was just going through to see if they have a timeline on this. But I think I got it from the CEO, and I think I got it from their calendars where I'm based on getting that information out for the results on this drug. I'm looking at their site here, and I'm looking on Seeking Alpha. The company recently filed U.S. application for Vidazitis ODT in tablet formations along with priority review voucher. The FDA does not intend to hold an advisory committee meeting on the filings, so the company expects the action date in first quarter 2020. So I think there's two things that are going to be happening here. We're in good position on that. Also, Canaccord Genuity has a $80 price target on it. Piper Jaffray has a $100 price target on it. And, again, I just watched the presentations, and it's well worth watching if you go to their website and go to the investor relation area. It looks pretty good. So that we are expecting that. I almost want to buy some more shares on this because it does look really, really good. And this will be one of the stocks I would like to, if it gets halted in the evening with some news and they open up the next morning, I would be, prone to sell it early pre-market, 4 o'clock, whatever. I could get up and sell this. But again, that's if everything works out great on this. So Biohaven. And again, going back to the main issue of this video is just doing the research, finding out what's out there and what catalysts to make us a good, a great trade. Now, the VTVT came out with something today. It's going to pop up nice on, it's up to like 60%. VTVT. They're going to be announcing their results from their trial on Monday at an investor conference. They announced that today after the market, so it's already up after hours. And I got that on one of these things. Let's just take a look at the next one, KMPH. I believe NDA filing due January 2020. Let's just double check what that was. 35 cents. I don't think I was in this one at all. It was too cheap. Yeah, no. Did not look good. ADHD. All right. AQST, NDA filing, we passed on that. Let's see what else is coming down the list here. VTVT here. So this is one that I picked up, type 1 diabetes, phase 1.5, 1/2. And again, that data is going to be released, phase 2, part 2 data will be released February 10th, 7 a.m. There it is. They've updated this pretty good. I don't know when this was updated. It must have been updated today because they just announced this. That tells me that this is pretty spot on. So I like that a lot. So that's been updated. Looks like there's some kind of an event here. AVRO phase 1/2 updated due analyst investor event February 10th from 7 to 9. So that's going to do something there. And they announced today. They announced this, so this is right on schedule too. And again, they have a nice little notes here. RGNX phase 1/2, further data to be presented at 16th Annual World Symposium, February 12th, 2020. All right, and we have this phase 1B data to be presented by EXEL. We're in this one, and it's been running nice. February 3rd, 2020, at the ASCO. And there's a lot of things at the ASCO that we tend to pay attention to. So this is another good reason to kind of look here. EXEL, RHHBY at the ASCO. Here, a phase 1 presentation at the ASCO, ADXS. I think I might have that one. I'm not sure. I don't have my platform open now. Phase 3 trilogy. Did not meet primary endpoint January 13th. Trilogy data due on February 20th. ACSG, CRVS, February, ASCO, February 13th to 15th. So there's a lot of things happening this week. CRVS, that one's already starting to move. And you can see that's moved up. If you can see that here. This is I've been hearing a lot about this one. So it went from like $3 to $5 recently, and now it's kind of pulled back. It's going to update clinical data from its phase 1/1B trial coming up this week. So that's why it kind of popped up on that. CRL issued 2013, a new PDLIFA extended by 3 months to February 16th. Advisory committee meeting October 30th, voted 14-1 in favor. Contraceptive patch, AGRX. That looks pretty interesting. Merck, Keytruda, that's a big one. February 18th, that's the big cancer drug. 6 weeks dosing for melanoma and other indications. Wow, that's sneaking up on us too. MRK. And I'm in that one. I'm actually in that stock. So I have to remember February 18th. Very interesting. And there's another one. Keytruda with another drug, IMMP. Phase 2. All right, so that's good too. And the list goes on and on. So, I mean, I just wanted to point that out to you. Even the big boys are in here, Eli Lilly and stuff. Now, I also noticed if you go down to, let's see here. There was another thing I hear. Was it this one? Scroll down. No, but you know what? I'll get that for you. But you could actually import a lot of this stuff. I think you could actually add this to your Google Calendar. So some of these things are already on the calendar for you, or you could add it to your, add it yourself to your own calendar. That way you just keep on track of these things. Like here's the Merck. February 18th, right there. They even have a Biotech IPO calendar, and those are great. The Biotech IPOs, It even has the last 71 IPOs. You can actually look back, IPO price and what they're priced after the first day, and current price of 17, it was 28, 17, 18, 17, 24, 4, 12, 10, 19, 38, Black Diamond, BDTX here. I remember seeing that one go out. Most of these, not all of them, but most of them are higher. 8 to 15. Price after the first day too. So interesting. 16 to 27, 13 to 15, 4 to 4. Nothing going on there. But also coming up, Avidin Health, Raymond James does have a date, February 10th. Trading day expected February 10th. That's going to be on a Monday. Not familiar with this one. I have to read up on it. RVMD, again next week, 10 million shares. I'm going to look in both of those. Write them down is the first thing you got to do. I'll call that one AHI. I'll call that AHI, tuna one, and RVMD IPOs. I got those down. So that's another good thing. And down the rabbit hole I go. I see IPOscoop.com. I like it, trading the IPOs. Let's click on that and see where that goes. Oh, that's good. Nice little calendar here. Very nice. So, again, something February turns up the heat. We got a lot of nice stuff coming up here. Read more. See which ones are really pointing at. A lot of information here. Just have to put the time in. Avidin Health, proposed based in North Carolina. High growth healthcare, wellness, health topical products to improve immune health, skin barrier health. Plan to offer 5 million shares, 14 to 16. Carryover from last week. IPOs a carryover from last week. All right. Maybe to do some kind of skin cream. F5 finishes February 3rd, week of February 3rd. These already went out. All right, here's the ones we want to look at. IPO calendar is blank for the second week of February, but could change quickly. All right. So that's a good calendar. IPOscoop.com. IPOscoop.com. I like it. So I went down here to analysis, and this is the other good link here. Let me click on this. Hold on. It's supposed to come out. Go up to Biotech stock weekly watch list. This is a good feature here, and it kind of gives you a big Biotech earnings week ahead, February events to watch, Biotech week in a review. So this is actually a good link here, and it kind of breaks down a lot of biotechs and stock and some events that might be coming up. So I'm going to read through this. I'm not going to bore you, but I want to read through it and then update you in a second here. All right, first thing I noticed that they say here, you can look in here, it breaks it down to phase 1/2, phase 3. All right, I'm just going to look at it. It says you can actually click on the link and it'll bring you right to the ones that have the phase 3, which key phase 3 readouts slated for the first quarter of 2020. That was one of the things I wanted to find. It took a while to find it, but now you know how to get there. So right here, I did a video on this, but all this stuff here is information that could pay off. Nectar shares NKTR. Company announced version of agreement Bristol Myers Squibb. SRNA closed up Friday. I think, let me see here. Oh, here it is. Right down on the bottom here. These are the ones that we're expecting. EXEL. Phase 3 data due out in the first half of 2020. The BHVN. Phase 3 top-line data due early, first quarter 2020. Market cap of the industry or the market that the drug will be treating. That gives you a good view of that. So in the EXL, in the BHVN, I might have the AX. I'm not 100% sure on this. GNFT due out first quarter. phase 3 due out first quarter, complicated urinary tract, ITRM. I think I have some of that. I'm not sure. CALA, I do have this. Phase 3 completion enrollment announced January 15th with data due out first quarter. I think it's a 30-day data, so probably next week. I think and again, you have to, this is great stuff if you want to be a detective. Because I remember CALA Pharmaceuticals, they put out a dry eye disease drug, which is in our phase 3, which it says 236.7 million market cap on that, but it seems like there would be more on that. But let me see if I click on this, because I believe we could time that to the day, because the completion of enrollment is January 15th, and I think if I could click on this, maybe it brings us to this. All right, this is what I want to do. I want to go back here. I want to just walk you through it. I'm sorry to waste your time, but this is what I do Friday nights. So this is the drug is KPI 121. Copy that. It's called Stride. I'll just remember that also. Stride. We're going to go back to clinical trials. We're going to go to start over. I want to put in the that. We're going to put in TSRIDE. And we're going to see what pops up. And we have 3 studies found. Dry eye syndrome here. Completed. Subject of dry eye disease. And then completed. Recruiting. This one is a dry eye. KPI 21. Well, let's see what this says here. I don't think this is the one. Estimated completion date September 2019. So let's take a look at the one that completed, but they're just waiting on it. That could be it. This one could be it right here. Completed right here. Completed first and last update July. No. October 17th. Nope, that's not it. Let's go back here. Stride 3, dry eye disease. Phase 3 completion of enrollment announced with data due first quarter 2020. Stride 3. Let's take a look at Stride 3. Oh, Jesus, no. That's the one we looked at before. Official title, slide 3. So I guess we're waiting on this. It's finished, and they went in to see the doctor. I guess everyone had their checkups and stuff, and now they're putting together everything. I got to dig a little deeper. I'm on the Zero Hedge, and I'm reading. Not too many good, there's a lot of people out here that are more familiar with the eye disease and drug process with this, and it's not as positive as I would like to see going into something like this. Anyway, I don't, have a small position, nothing to really be too concerned with, but if I had a little profit on this, I might just take it off and just say, sayonara. Doesn't look like anything too great here on some of these comments, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of information out there if you could dig around. Here's another one I'm in. Here's the CALA. But here's another one I'm in here is the Boston trial. Phase 3 due out early 2020. This one seems promising. I want to just look into this one a little bit more. All right, here's the Boston trial. Multiple myeloma. Last update is January 3rd. A couple days ago they updated something on this. Let's take a look. All right, June estimated completion date was June 2020. So we're right around the corner. It's supposed to be a pretty big one. All right, the list goes on, but I think I did enough. I don't want to lose your attention, but there's a lot of good things on here. We'll do another update down the road, but we're trading these every day, so if you want to come on by, Day Trading Radio, we'll be covering these stocks going into next week, and any new things come up, I'll try to get a video out. If not, I'll see you online, or I'll see you in the markets. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll talk to you in the markets.